My name is Ramsey. I run the Rajathon YouTube channel, and I am in love with Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. So I want to go ahead and do a Cosmere crash course. I may get a couple things wrong as I go through here, but I've been doing a ton of study, really been digging into the Arcanium Unbounded, just looking through stories, galaxies, universes, what shards are doing, what they can do. Spent some time on the Coppermind. A lot of credit goes to that site. I will link them down below. They're a great reference for anything Cosmere related. And I've been digging into Mistborn Era 2. I've read book 4 and 5, technically, in the Mistborn series in the last 5 days. And just really enjoying going back through the Cosmere and a reread of just all of the Cosmere, basically. So I wanted to give you some of the things that I've found, some of the cool things that I've noticed, and just kind of a crash course on what all these things are, what they mean, and how you can get into it. So here we go. Crash course time. So quick overview. Brandon Sanderson's overarching universe encompassing multiple solar systems and the interconnected force or investiture that makes the Cosmere function. Brandon states in Arcanium Unbounded that the idea of the Cosmere started with Hoid. His first book appearance was Elantris, and then he wrote Dragonsteel, which was never published, but it gives the backstory for Hoid and the entire universe of the Cosmere. When Elantris was published, the whole Cosmere had taken shape, but not when he wrote it initially. The actual Ars Arcanum that you get in the back of all the books was written by a character that comes from the Taladane system named
Chrysala,
or short, a lot of people call her Chris. Shards are not God, but they are pieces of God. Ruin, preservation, onotomy, cultivation. There are 16 of them. Chris. So let's get into the shards. The shards of Adonasium, or just shards for short. I'm probably saying that wrong, so let me know in the comments if there's an easy way to say it that I'm not getting right here. Shards are 16 pieces of creation, and they are named after the specific actions or ideals that they represent. The shard's primary purpose or motivation usually are followed by that shard. Any person that takes up the power of that shard then becomes a vessel. Shards are the most powerful things in the entire universe and serve as gods. Most, but not all magic systems are related to them in his universe. Ruin and preservation inhabited power and energy in the same way a person inhabits flesh and blood. Says it. All shards have a piece of the power of creation with a specific motivation, either to destroy or to preserve. All shards started with the same power levels, and over time, many have diminished through conflict and or the act of investing in a world. By doing that, they create investiture. By investing a world, it creates that world's magic system. That then gives the shard small control over the magic system on that planet. By having a shard on that world, it creates a perpendicularity, a well of investiture that pierces all three realms and allows world hopping. What is Adonasium? Like, why do we need to look into it? Well, as far as we can tell, we're not 100% sure, but from what Brandon has told us, it has been referred to as the power of creation, maybe even the original god of creation in the Cosmere. A long time ago on the planet of Yolan, 16 people killed it, shattering it into the 16 shards. All 16 of those people took up the shards and became vessels, and some settled on worlds, and then some kept on traveling. Originally, the shards' vessels agreed not to interfere with one another, but it didn't stay that way. For a shard to function properly, it requires a vessel, really a mind to control it. Belonging to a functioning mind, you don't have to use investiture to hold a shard, but it does help. Vessels share that shard's intent, either good or evil. The act of becoming a vessel is called ascension, which causes the vessel's body to vaporize, allowing their minds to expand and more closely connect with the shard. Most shard worlds have only one shard, although Sel, the home of Elantris and the Emperor's Soul, has 2, and Scadrial, where Mistborn and Mistborn Era 2 also has 2, and then Roshar is the only system that currently has 3. Several shards have died and are splintered, and 2 shards have been merged together so far as we can tell in the story. All the shards we currently know about right now are Devotion and Dominion on Sel, we have Preservation and Ruin on Scadrial, we have Odium, cultivation and honor on Roshar. We have endowment on Nalthis. We have
autonomy
on Taladane. And we have ambition on Thrinity. And then we also have shards that are not named that we don't currently know much about. Hopefully, through the next couple stories, we get these. We've also noticed, as you can tell through the third book, as we're waiting on Rhythm of War to come out, that some shards have gone and killed one another. Some of those shards that are dead have shattered. And through that shattering, their power is being dispersed through the world. And we still haven't really figured out how that's affecting the world yet. It takes some time for the shards to completely shatter and the pieces to not even 100% sure what it is. And I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on it as well. Really, I wanted to dig in and figure out what I was looking at with shards, and through everything I was looking, I hadn't seen a YouTube video yet where somebody really went into what shards were, how they worked, what they were doing on the worlds. I know I probably pronounced something wrong here, but really excited for the next phase of the Stormlight Archive, because it's really detailing his world and detailing what he plans to do with the Cosmere. I know I kind of wrote this as a script. I was just digging through, finding information, and let me know what you guys think about the Cosmere. I'd like to do a couple more of these, really dig into the individual worlds. I've had a lot of fun. I'm currently reading White Sands and enjoying the Taladan system, and I also enjoyed the Thrinity system, and like their culture and backstory is really interesting, and I want to dig into that some more as well. It's just been fun to realize these stories. I mean, not all of them have a well-developed story, and even, thinking about what Dragonsteel is, that Brandon Sanderson says is just a bad story. Maybe it'll tell us a whole lot more about the Cosmere and what's going on. It's got the Cosmere's backstory. So I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear what's going on there and what we're looking forward to. And then, I'd love to do a idea on what world hopping is, how they do it. Obviously, they go through Shadesmar, which Shadesmar is connected through all of the worlds. When there's a shard on the world, it pierces the perpendicularity, pierces all three levels, and so you're able to go down into Shadesmar and travel through different worlds. We see people from different universes, and we know of characters who have crossed over. So I'm really excited to learn so much more about this world and the Cosmere and what we're going to get in book 4. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you guys think on the Cosmere and where you guys are in it. Really enjoying Era 2 as we speak. I'm going to finish the rest of the short stories in Arcanium Unbounded. It's a lot more fun in a physical copy. I've had it on Kindle for a long time. I pulled this one out of my library. So, I'll talk to you guys next time. If you want to follow the channel, there's a subscribe button. Also do Twitter and Discord, and I'd love to talk to you later. Bye.